Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into a breaking political controversy that's making waves both in South Africa and internationally. The leader of the economic freedom fighters, Julius Malema, has been denied a visa by the United Kingdom, a decision that's not only disrupted his plans to attend a prestigious global event, but also reignited a fierce debate about political discrimination, freedom of expression, and the treatment of African leaders on the international stage. So, if you're passionate about South African politics and global justice, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave your thoughts in the comments section, because this one is big, and it's not going away anytime soon. Let's start with what happened. Julius Malema was scheduled to attend the Cambridge Conference in London, a high-level gathering of global political minds and intellectuals, where he was expected to share his insights on issues affecting the Global South, Pan-Africanism, economic justice, and the legacy of colonialism. But just hours before his flight was set to depart from Tambo International Airport, Malema and his delegation were informed that the UK had denied their visa applications. What's particularly shocking is the lack of a clear reason. According to Malema, British authorities had previously assured his team that the visa issue would be resolved by 15:30 on the day of departure. Instead, they received a formal letter of regret just 4 hours before takeoff, with no substantial explanation. The sudden and vague nature of the decision has raised serious eyebrows, not only among EFF supporters, but across a wide spectrum of political observers. Malema has publicly suggested that the visa denial is more than just a bureaucratic snag. He believes it's a calculated move to silence him, to prevent him from speaking truth to power on an international platform. And while some may view this as political posturing, the context suggests there may be more to the story. This incident doesn't happen in a vacuum. Julius Malema is one of the most outspoken political figures in Africa. He's a fierce critic of neocolonialism, the IMF, Western imperialism, and the economic structures that he believes keep Africa subservient to powerful global players. His views are often controversial, but they represent a large constituency of South Africans who feel disillusioned with the status quo, both at home and abroad. So, when a Western power like the UK denies him a visa without providing a concrete reason, it raises serious questions. Is this simply a matter of immigration procedure? Or is it an act of political gatekeeping, a subtle but deliberate attempt to control who gets to participate in global dialogue? Think about the platform Malema was denied access to. The Cambridge Conference is no ordinary academic talk shop. It's a prestigious space where world leaders, scholars, and activists gather to shape the future of global governance. For a leader like Malema, this would have been an opportunity to challenge Western narratives, present alternative visions for African development, and call out hypocrisy in the global system. Denying him this space could be seen as a way to avoid uncomfortable truths. And that's a dangerous precedent. Now let's be clear, the UK has the sovereign right to issue or deny visas. No country is obligated to grant access to a foreign political figure. But with that power comes responsibility. When visa decisions affect freedom of political expression and engagement, transparency is essential. Without it, decisions like this become fertile ground for accusations of political bias and racism. Malema is no stranger to controversy, but love him or hate him, his exclusion from the international stage must be examined critically. It raises questions not just about UK policy, but about the broader challenges African leaders face when attempting to assert their voices globally. How many other African thinkers, critics, and reformers have been quietly denied a seat at the table because their views are uncomfortable? And what does this say about the integrity of international platforms that claim to value open debate and inclusion? This story also speaks to a larger diplomatic tension between African nations and former colonial powers. While many European countries claim to support African development and democracy, there's often a stark disconnect between rhetoric and practice. The decision to block Malema, a democratically elected member of parliament, from engaging in political dialogue abroad reinforces the perception that Western nations are quick to suppress African voices when they don't align with global capitalist or neoliberal interests. Moreover, this incident may have ripple effects for South Africa-UK relations. Already strained by historical grievances and disagreements over foreign policy, this latest development could further erode trust. The EFF is likely to use this as a rallying point, framing it as proof of global bias against radical African political movements. And you can be sure that this issue will feature prominently in the upcoming election messaging. Beyond the politics, though, this event highlights something more fundamental: the fragility of free speech and the selective nature of global engagement. If someone as prominent as Julius Malema can be denied the opportunity to speak, without due explanation, what does that mean for the thousands of lesser-known activists, academics, and civil society leaders whose voices are already marginalized? And from a South African perspective, this is more than just about Malema. It's about how African ideas and solutions are treated on the world stage. It's about the barriers that still exist in so-called open democracies. And it's about the urgent need to level the playing field, not just within countries, but between them. The question now is, what happens next? Malema and the EFF will almost certainly challenge this decision, not necessarily in court, but in the court of public opinion. He'll use this moment to draw attention to what he sees as the hypocrisy of the global order. Whether or not you agree with his politics, it's hard to ignore the deeper implications of what has happened. For the UK, this presents a diplomatic dilemma. If there was a legitimate reason for the visa denial, it should be made public. Otherwise, the silence will only fuel suspicion and damage Britain's credibility when it comes to promoting democracy and dialogue. This incident is a wake-up call, a reminder that freedom of speech, global justice, and political fairness are not just ideals to be spoken of, but principles that must be upheld, especially when inconvenient. And now, we want to hear from you. Do you believe Julius Malema's visa was denied for political reasons? Or was this simply an unfortunate procedural delay? Should African leaders be given more respect on the global stage? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We are keen to hear a diversity of views on this. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more hard-hitting political commentary, and share this with your friends and networks. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, see you next time.